Good Friday morning. Today is a first alert weather day because of the continuation of the snow that we'll see up in the Cascades. But right now you're taking a live look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Not seeing much out there for this morning. It is noticeably colder as opposed to yesterday morning. 20s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, right around freezing in the lower Columbia Basin, right around freezing in the Blue Foothills, and then well below freezing at pass level for both the Cascades and for the Blues. So many of us will probably have to contend with some frost for this morning. Okay, we're tracking that next storm system building off towards our south and west, and that's going to impact us later today, but specifically into tonight and then into tomorrow. So for today, overall, small shower chances. The breezes will be picking up a bit. More on that in a second. But first, it's first alert weather day from 11 a.m. this morning through 5 in the morning on Sunday. We've trimmed back this a little bit, but still for the Cascades, 11 to 14 inches for some of the main Cascade passes. There's a new wrinkle now to the forecast. Winds going to be especially strong tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the Blue Foothills could have peak gusts between 60 to 70 miles per hour. So some big time impacts ahead of us. I'll talk about those more coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a catastrophic power outage shut down Multicare Orthopedics Northwest in Yakima, and vandals are to blame. We have the details coming up.
The first local law enforcement leaders all coming together to call on the Yakima County coroner to resign, what they wrote in that letter request.
Also ahead, take a look. Dramatic video of an American Airlines plane catching fire after diverting to Denver. What we know so far, all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeLong.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Friday, March 14th, making our way into the weekend.
Yes, we are.
It's Pie Day.
It is Pie Day.
It's National Pie Day.
What's your favorite kind of pie?
Probably pumpkin.
Okay, key lime pie, I think, or just some kind of chocolate Oreo situation.
Okay,
yeah,
I like that.
Anything sweet.
Yeah, we'll do a little more pie talk.
Yeah,
coming up in a little bit. We have a lot to get to this morning. Of course, weather a big deal if you're making your way over the mountain passes. Josh will check in on that. But we want to start this morning also in Yakima, where more than a half dozen local law enforcement leaders have signed a letter calling on Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis to resign after he was accused of using drugs on the job and also making false statements to police. Now, Curtis pleaded not guilty to those crimes back in his arraignment in January.
That's right, and officials, including the Yakima County Sheriff, the Yakima Police Chief, and other top officials saying, quote, "Even though we are empathetic to Coroner Curtis's struggles and sincerely hope he can have a lasting recovery, some lines can't be crossed and specific behaviors cannot be tolerated." That letter requesting his immediate resignation, and Curtis's term ends in 2026. He has been on self-imposed paid administrative leave since September 2024.
And a catastrophic power failure has temporarily shut down Multicare's Orthopedic Northwest office in Yakima. The Rainier building, where that facility is located, had a major power failure yesterday. Multicare officials say it happened after someone vandalized a critical piece of the power equipment. Yakima Fire Department and Pacific Power responding and shut down all the power to the facility.
Safety of our patients and staff remains our highest priority. We're happy to report that there were no injuries resulting from this incident.
But the building does remain in the dark. Multicare officials say they don't know exactly when the power will be restored and that they are reaching out to their patients to reschedule appointments. No word on if any arrests have been made in connection to that vandalism. And taking you now to West Richland, where vandals hit the Heights at Red Mountain Park again. Now the restrooms are closed again until further notice. The city says the damage happened between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. on Sunday, March 9th. Now, these restrooms had just recently reopened on March 3rd. After being closed since October 31st of 2024, they'd been making repairs because of vandals' prior strike. Now, residents with any information on this vandalism, they're asked to call the non-emergency police number if you know what happened out there.
Now, in a follow-up, we have an update from the Tri-City Americans. The team says defenseman Terrell Goldsmith was released from a local hospital last night, and he's resting at home. The team says he will continue to be monitored by the Americans medical staff, and this comes after a fight during a matchup with the Seattle Thunderbirds at the Toyota Center. And during the second period, Goldsmith was hit in the face and became unresponsive. Fans described seeing Goldsmith land hard on the ice, and then he began seizing. They also say as he left the ice, he was able to signal a thumbs up to the crowd. Now, the City of Zillah and Yakima County Development Association are launching a 3-part outreach series to support local businesses. The free events are designed to connect business owners in the greater Zillah area with resources and services to support their operations and expansion. And for the city also to hear from businesses, contractors, and developers on how they can improve.
The biggest goal is to listen to businesses of all shapes and sizes in the community and really focus on making Zillah even more business friendly to continue the economic growth that we're seeing right now.
The first event will be held from noon to 2 p.m. on March 18th at the Zillah Civic Center. You can register ahead of time to set up a one-on-one session with experts on different things like funding, workforce development, and expansion strategies. Now, this morning, we are getting updates from Washington State Superintendent Chris Reichdel on multiple trending topics. He spoke about recent federal actions and their impacts on Washington schools and recent local school board actions related to students' civil rights, also funding for K-12 education.
Yeah, this was all at a press conference he held when he was asked about federal cuts and how it would impact students here. Here's what he had to say.
So the timing of this is brutal. It's why we keep saying to districts, be really cautious about engaging in any new discretionary grants from the feds. Like, at least don't add that pain to your plate, because we'll be doing everything we can just to see what our legislature gives us in state funds, what we think we can secure confidently in federal funds, and then we're going to hold our breath for a while.
Now, on Tuesday, a lawsuit from Democratic attorneys general in 20 states, including here in Washington and in Oregon, was filed, and it alleges that this week's mass layoffs at the Department of Education were unlawful and will hurt students beyond belief, something, of course, we're keeping a very close eye on.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, an American Airlines flight carrying 172 passengers and 6 crew members facing a scary situation when their plane catches fire. This after it had to divert to Denver, Colorado. What we know so far is coming up in your national news.
But first, I want to give you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studio in Kennewick. We're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He's going to be talking about what you can expect as you head into the weekend, and especially if you're traveling over those mountain passes this weekend. He has all of that in your forecast coming up after the break.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. And they stay in excellent shape. Every Bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of Bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Dust off those dancing shoes and grab your partner. Active for Life presents Community Dance, Friday, April 4th at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Here's an event you won't want to miss. There'll be dinner, dancing, casino-like games, and more. All this fun and excitement for just $30. It'll be a night to remember. Get your tickets now at the following locations. Proceeds for this wonderful event go to benefit the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the Community Dance, Dancing Through the Decades, Friday, April 4th from 5 to 9. Sponsored by these fine sponsors.
Hurry into the Nissan Now sales event to save on an award-winning new Nissan like Kicks, J.D. Power's most dependable small SUV, Sentra, a Consumer Reports top pick, and Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. All for under $30,000 at the Nissan Now sales event. Now get a low $229 per month lease on Sentra, or get up to $3,000 total savings on Rogue.
Survival rates for colon cancer can be as high as 90%. with early detection. There's more about colon cancer screening at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Prosser Digestive Health Center reminds us that colon cancer screening saves lives. This is how we care.
Idol premiered with an audition that captured America's heart.
Amazing!
And Sunday, new dreams come true.
Try a little tenderness. Born to sing.
Kraken, Utah. Pregame at 6:30 tonight on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have winter storm warnings in place in the Cascades and a winter weather advisory that's in place for the Blues. You can find out more about each of these areas and alerts by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app. You can get it for free on the App Store or on Google Play. All right, on to temperatures now. We are down into the 20s throughout Kittitas County, so it might be a little bit frosty here. And then down into the Yakima Valley, we're seeing temperatures that are also exclusively below freezing, so maybe good reason to break out the ice scraper. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, it looks like most of us are below freezing, although technically in the Tri-Cities at the airport we're a few degrees above freezing. Now we'll take it down to the Blue Foothills, where also several of us below freezing. Pendleton, Pilot Rock, Heppner, and Lexington, and down into the teens and 20s this morning in the Blues. Very cold stuff. And by the way, road conditions, we do have some areas, some slushy and snowy areas for Cascade passes and some areas of black ice for Interstate 84 and Oregon 204. Definitely something to keep in mind if you're traveling over our mountain passes for today. So here's your day planner for today. Mostly dry for lower elevations. We will have small shower chances starting to creep into the picture as we head into this afternoon and evening. So for today, pretty seasonal. Winds gusting out of the south and west, upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour. But the winds really pick up for tonight and get even stronger into tomorrow. We're talking about some potentially damaging wind gusts, more impactful snowfall totals. I'll talk about all of it coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 12 minutes after 5 in your national headlines this morning. Trouble on the tarmac when an American Airlines plane caught fire. Take a look at this video coming in. You can see passengers evacuating to the wing of the plane as smoke just poured from that airplane. Now, the flight had left from Colorado Springs. It was headed to Dallas-Fort Worth, but it was forced to divert in Denver. That's where this happened. American Airlines say it was an issue with the engine and that the fire started after the plane landed. All 172 passengers and 6 crew members made it out safely. FAA now investigating. And this morning, President Trump is standing firm on his tariff policy after threatening to escalate a global trade war with 200% tariffs on champagne and other alcoholic products from the European Union. We told you about that just yesterday as he announced it. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, President Trump promising a new 200% tariff on wine and champagne from Europe. The response was swift on Wall Street, the Dow Jones dropping 500 points for the first time in 2 years, and the S&P closing down 10% from a recent peak. But President Trump not backing down.
Look, we've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all.
It comes after Trump imposed sweeping 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel imports on Wednesday. The European Union then retaliating with 50% tariffs on U.S. whiskey. Ahead of Canadian Prime Minister swearing in later today, Ontario Premier Doug Ford meeting with the U.S. Commerce Secretary to discuss the ongoing trade war, calling it very productive.
We want to make sure we continue building on that relationship. We feel that the temperature is being lowered.
Economists warn that the Trump trade policies will soon have a significant impact on American consumers with higher prices. The Wall Street Journal reports consumer angst at all income levels, saying signs of weakness are showing up in spending on everything from basics to luxuries. Voters letting their opinions known. Nearly 2,000 people showing up at this town hall in North Carolina. Fewer than 400 were allowed in the door. Congressman Chuck Edwards getting an earful on everything from President Trump's tariffs to Elon Musk's downsizing of the government.
Thank you for that feedback.
A man identifying himself as a veteran was escorted out, screaming profanities at the congressman over federal job cuts.
Republican leaders have been encouraged not to hold in-person town halls because of frequent disruptions. They say Democrats are hiring outside agitators to come in, which Democrats have denied. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your full first alert forecast and what you can expect as we make our way into the weekend. Giving you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal cameras here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. It's 5:15 and we're back after the break.
As we get ready for spring and summer, let's make sure our equipment is workable and safe. Vehicles should look twice when they change lanes because the motorcycles are out. Look twice.
Call Allen Brecky Law Offices at 735-0546.
Why do patients and families immediately think of Good Shepherd? They trust our knowledge and expertise. They value the compassionate care we provide. They feel like they are being taken care of by family. From our renowned doctors and top-of-the-line technology to our state-of-the-art facilities, Good Shepherd Healthcare System. Patients first, always.
It only happens once a year. The McCurley dealership spring cleaning event is here at McCurley Honda. And this March, your trade is worth more than ever. Right now, we're giving you an extra $500 off any vehicle purchase when you trade in a vehicle, plus special event savings on every new and pre-owned vehicle. And with exclusive low-rate financing, driving home a new ride has never been easier. Get to McCurley Honda today, where your trade is worth more this March.
Prepare yourselves for a non-stop party of live music, dancing, and fantasy that will excite your senses and leave you breathless. The Chippendales All Night Long World Tour, Saturday, March 29th, Legends Casino Hotel. Grab your squad and break away from your everyday for a night at Chippendales. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. The Chippendales All Night Long World Tour.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock Get It Today inventory in the region. Don't miss out on this limited time offer to upgrade your kitchen with the Frigidaire Professional 4-piece package and save up to $3,300. Experience precision cooking with this Frigidaire range. Keep your dishes sparkling with this professional dishwasher. This sleek microwave offers sensor cooking technology and this fabulous refrigerator designed with our Space Pro shelving system.
As we get ready for spring and summer, let's make sure our equipment is workable and safe. Vehicles should look twice when they change lanes because the motorcycles are out. Look twice.
Call Allen Brecky Law Offices at 735-0546.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. And yes, today is a first alert weather day. Now, by the looks of the radar right now, you wouldn't know it, but we will see a lot more action over the next 48 hours. So let's go ahead and step through it. Not much happening for this morning, but snow showers should arrive in the southern blues around midday. And by the mid to late afternoon, that action starts to ramp up in the Cascades again. Maybe dealing with some snow showers in the foothills or valleys by dinner time and into the late evening, and wet weather becomes a bit more widespread overnight and into the early morning hours of Saturday. However, lower elevations will see a lull in the action starting during the mid-morning, but around lunchtime, the next round starts to impact the Cascades. Dinner time could be a wet one as the action turns much more widespread again, and passes look pretty lousy as we head into the wee hours of the morning on Sunday. So to that point, here's some of the snowfall totals that we are thinking over the next 48 hours. Could have more feet of snow up in the Cascades and potentially, well, not as much for Blue Mountain passes except for Oregon 204. Could pick up 7 inches there, but definitely the most impactful stuff is going to be for Cascade passes. Now that's when I say most impactful stuff, I'm talking about the snowfall. The wind's going to be very impactful for tomorrow, specifically from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. racing out of the south and west. We could have wind gusts on the order of 55 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, 50 miles per hour for Hermiston, 70 miles per hour in Lexington, 60 miles per hour in Pendleton. So specifically here in the Blue Foothills, that's where we could see the best risk of some damaging wind gusts. Okay, we have another storm system to deal with into Sunday and Monday, looking much drier after that. there's another one for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll get to that in a second. But the Sunday-Monday storm system not looking nearly as impressive as it looked just 24 hours back. So that's why we've trimmed back the first alert weather day a bit. It's why we've scaled back some of the snowfall accumulation forecast up in the Cascades, but still could pick up decent amounts for both the Cascades and the Blues. Then into Tuesday and Wednesday, overall, this is going to be a much drier storm system. And again, our trend into next week is much drier. High temperatures, man, I'll tell you what, they are staying consistent over these next 7 days. Okay, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Mostly dry today, strong winds for tomorrow, with rain chances picking up both Saturday and Sunday, then drier by Monday. In Yakima, windier and wetter for Saturday, rain again for Sunday, but drying out into next week. In Ellensburg, decent rain chances this weekend, maybe even picking up trace amounts of snowfall, but much drier next week. In Hermiston, maybe a shower or two today, very windy tomorrow with rain chances going up, but drier for Monday. Then in Walla Walla, thunderstorms are likely tomorrow with stronger winds, more thunderstorms likely Sunday, but a little bit calmer to start next week. Now you're taking a live look at Kennewick, this view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
Prepare yourselves for a non-stop party of live music, dancing, and fantasy that will excite your senses and leave you breathless. The Chippendales All Night Long World Tour, Saturday, March 29th, Legends Casino Hotel. Grab your squad and break away from your everyday for a night at Chippendales. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. The Chippendales All Night Long World Tour.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Save now with Buy Mart's latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox this week. Coke brand 12 packs are buy 2 get 2. Red Vine 3.5-pound jars are just $9.99. Plus save big in our bonus zone. Dots pretzels are just $4.99. Old Trapper beef jerky is $9.99. And save on Kit and Caboodle's 30-pound bags of dry cat food. Saving our members more and keeping your dollars in your community. Buy Mart since 1955. The Subaru A Lot to Love event is here, which means it's time for some spring cleaning at McCurley Subaru. And this March, your trade is worth more than ever. Right now, we're giving you an extra $500 off any vehicle purchase when you trade in a vehicle, plus special event savings on every new and pre-owned vehicle. And with exclusive low-rate financing, driving home a new ride has never been easier. Get to McCurley Subaru today, where your trade is worth more this March.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,300 off, plus a free thermostat on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Kraken, Utah. Pre-game is 6:30 tonight on Apple Valley News Now.
524, welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news this morning, Justin Bieber is opening up about imposter syndrome.
I think it happens to a lot of us, definitely happens to me, and I'm a huge believer, so this kind of makes me sad. Well, in a social media post, Bieber wrote that his whole life he's always felt unworthy and felt like a fraud when people told him that he deserved his success. He went on to say that if people knew how judgmental and selfish he really is, they wouldn't be saying what they've said.
Well, that is real. That is real talk right there.
Yeah.
Well, Bieber adds he feels unequipped and unqualified on most days.
Same.
Some people have raised questions online about Bieber's well-being after he appeared tired and a bit thinner in recent photos.
A rep for Bieber and his wife Hailey disputed those concerns, telling TMZ the pop star is just busy making new music and being a new dad.
And I am so thankful that he's working on new music because we need that.
Same.
He's too good. But
He's so talented.
if he doesn't want to tour, that's fine because that's a lot for someone. But he's too good to not
for a new
release music.
parent.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that is a lot. But yeah, new music will take. All right. In other entertainment news this morning, it's the end of an era at Versace. Donatella Versace stepping down as chief creative officer.
Now, she's held the role at the Italian luxury fashion house for nearly 3 decades, and she took over the label founded by her late brother Gianni after he was murdered outside his Miami home in 1997. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You didn't know he was murdered out?
No.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Well, she will transition to a newly created role of chief brand ambassador. The change comes amid speculation of a potential sale of the Versace company.
Stop it.
To the product group.
Funny, Josh.
Oh, he thinks he's so funny this morning.
I didn't say it.
You wanted
At least you didn't do the
to.
song. Versace.
Yeah.
All right, we still have much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, local police have been using drones as a tool to help fight crime, but now we're learning that people could be using drones to commit crimes and not even knowing it.
And Emily Goodell has what the Yakima County Sheriff's Office wants the public to know about that, and that is coming up in your next half hour. But first, we're going to check out your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new way to make money on Facebook. The social media platform has launched content monetization, a program where users can earn cash through their views on their Facebook stories. Facebook's parent company, Meta, says creators who aren't in the program can apply through its website. And your AirPods may soon offer live translation. Apple is reportedly planning to add the feature later this year. According to Bloomberg, AirPods will automatically detect and convert any spoken words other than your native language. It's similar to the translation tool on Google's Pixel Buds. Finally, Android users will soon have access to new Bluetooth technology, which links hearing aids directly to public audio broadcasts. Auracast provides customized live audio streams from places like noisy train stations or even concerts to those with compatible hearing aids. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great weekend.
I'm the voice inside your head. And while you're typically athletic, right now, you're pathetic. Rick. And once you start listening to me, it's gonna be hard to stop. Shank. And if you don't have the right auto coverage, the cost of this could hit you out of nowhere. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem like me.
Mucinex Night Shift starts working at bedtime to fight your worst nighttime symptoms.
How could you?
And leaves your system fast. By the time you wake up, you're ready to take on the day. Try it and feel the difference. Mucinex Night Shift. It's comeback season.
With bugs, the struggle is real. That's why you need Zevo Traps. Zevo attracts and traps bugs 24/7 using a blue and UV light with no odor and no mess for effortless protection. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Friday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, jackpot is on its way. You've been getting how many days in a row now?
I think
11 or 12?
I think we're up to 11 at this point. Yeah.
You're doing it.
Oh, thanks. Let's go ahead and
We
take a look.
expect nothing less.
I'm so flattered. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our 3-degree guarantee sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yep, I went with forecast high 57 yesterday and it verified right at 57. So the grand total goes up to $275. So for today, I'm going with a forecast high of 55 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 52 to 58, the jackpot's going to hit $300. But if that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that is on your screen. Right now, you're taking a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. Not seeing that much out there for this morning. It is noticeably colder as opposed to yesterday morning, with 20s in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, right around freezing in the basin. The same thing for the foothills, and well below freezing in both the Blues and the Cascades. So many of us would probably run into some frost for this morning. We're tracking the storm system building towards our south and west. This is going to impact us over the next 48 hours. But in terms of what we're going to see precip-wise in the Tri-Cities for today, not that much. Maybe you would need an umbrella into the evening hours, but those are low wind chances. So for today, small shower chances overall. It will be a little bit breezy. And as we head into tonight, that's when things are really going to ramp up for the mountains, as we do have a first alert weather day. It's from 11 a.m. this morning through 5 in the morning on Sunday. Could have 11 to 14 inches for some of those major Cascade passes. And I'll show you how that could maybe impact our ski resorts with your ski report. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting your half hour off in Yakima County, where drones are becoming a more common tool for law enforcement. Yakima County Sheriff's Office deputies are using drones to fight crime, but Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us that residents could also be using drones to commit crimes without even knowing they're doing so.
There's a lot of confusion around the rules for flying drones. That's why I asked the Yakima County Sheriff's Office to talk to me about how they use drones and how residents can do so safely and legally. Drones, an extra eye in the sky for law enforcement, whether they're looking for a missing person, helping with a search and rescue mission, or chasing fleeing suspects.
This is the Yakima County Sheriff's Office. You're under arrest.
Drones can also help scout the scene for SWAT or K-9 teams.
We have an interior drone that we need a warrant to fly into a residence.
But sometimes other people's drones cause problems.
Individuals that don't know the regulations, they tend to go into areas there's no fly zones.
Like the Yakima Airport, Yakima Training Center, and any private airstrip. Drones can't fly at all in those no-fly zones, and they can't fly above 400 feet within a 5-mile radius.
They also tend to might violate people's privacies by hovering over their property or looking at people or watching people.
Which could result in criminal charges like trespassing, stalking, or cyber harassment. Drones also need to be registered with the Federal Aviation Administration, and you might need additional licensing depending on the size.
Go onto the FAA website and go by those federal laws and rules. And then if you still have questions and need a breakdown, feel free to contact the Sheriff's Office or your local department, and they should have an answer for you.
Deputy Diaz says drone users should also always keep in mind that helicopters and airplanes always have the right of way. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thanks for that update. And more news out of Yakima this morning, where not guilty is the plea from Kailea Toll, the Yakima woman accused of killing her baby. Now, charges for her include manslaughter, criminal mistreatment, family abandonment, and in another case, animal cruelty. Toll is still in custody in the Yakima County Jail, bail set at $25,000. Her next hearing is scheduled for April 17th in Yakima County Superior Court. And at 5:33, we have a major recall to tell you about, and it's going to impact all of us here locally. More than 70,000 hummus cups have been recalled here in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Officials say the King Harvest hummus was sold at Fred Meyer stores. The hummus is being recalled due to the potential for the product being contaminated with a foreign matter, specifically plastic. So look for the expiration date between February 2nd, 2025 and March 2nd. You can return the product to the store for a full refund.
Now, a key deadline this week for Washington lawmakers as they had to pass all legislation without budgetary impacts out of the chamber they originated from. And Albert James shows us what made it past the deadline.
On Wednesday, a flurry of bills advanced from the Senate to the House and vice versa. The proposals ranged from increasing farmer access to Climate Commitment Act fuel exemptions, to creating more rules for companies and platforms that serve kids and teens, to more funding for special education, a bill which received the support of all senators in attendance.
The fact that it's expensive doesn't change the fact that on the ground we've got kids with special needs who are in our charge and are relying on us to make sure that they get the education to which they're entitled under our Constitution.
Some of the bills that weren't considered by Wednesday's deadline included allowing certain inmates to request resentencing, requiring bars offer testing kits for spiked drinks, and a repeat attempt to increase penalties around violence against school sporting officials.
I thought I had a lot better chance this year, and I think that I did, but there was also well over 2,000 bills that were dropped this year and some pretty big policy bills that were dropped this year. So they just, took priority over the referee bill.
As the 5 o'clock deadline inched closer, the House began debating House Bill 1296, which would remove language allowing parents to be notified when a child receives non-emergency medical services or treatment at school, and parents' access to student medical records. Democratic proponents argue it protects the established rights of young people to make their own health care decisions, while Republican opponents say the bill puts the state in between parents and their children.
And that was Albert James reporting. And regarding the House going through amendments on the Parents' Rights Bill, the third reading passed with 56 yes votes to 37 no votes. In the Senate, a bipartisan-backed measure around increasing special education funding was teed up as the final debate and vote, and it passed with the support of all members in attendance.
So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, it's Polar Plunge time. The annual event supporting our local Special Olympics is coming up. After the break, we're going to let you know how you can sign up. Are you ready to be freezing for a reason, Jessica?
Absolutely not, and I never will be.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
2025 is your year to start a new business, and the City of Pasco is here to help. We have newly updated commercial kitchen space and vendor windows available at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen downtown. Mobile food vendors, we've made it faster and easier than ever to get permits and connect with customers, thanks to new citywide regulations for food trucks and hand carts. Visit pasco-wa.gov for more information and join the thriving Pasco community. Naturally transformative.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house has the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
No one expects to get in a car wreck, but that's exactly what happened last summer. The drunk driver crossed over the center line, crashing into us and causing life-threatening injuries. It was difficult to focus on healing while facing overwhelming medical bills and lost wages. How will our bills get paid? When can I go back to work? So much was running through my head. Abeda Nelson's team did the work to make sure we didn't have to worry.
Abeda Nelson, we focus on you, you focus on healing.
The best deals of the year are going on now at Overturf Kia, with a huge selection to choose from. Looking for a hybrid vehicle that you can drive in either gas or electric mode? Lease a 2025 Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid electric EX with all-wheel drive for just $359 per month. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
This tax season, you can relax. There's no tax. Walker's Furniture is covering the sales tax for you. For a limited time, we're doubling down on discounts. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big, so you can get the tax break you need and a deal you'll love. Plus, with no money down special financing, you can create the home of your dreams now and pay over time. This week at Walker's, where quality just costs less.
Idol premiered with an audition that captured America's heart.
Amazing!
And Sunday, new dreams come true.
Try a little tenderness.
Born to sing. Idol premiered with an audition that captured America's heart.
Amazing!
And Sunday, new dreams come true.
Try a little tenderness.
Born to sing.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Ski Resort's got to be happy about this forecast over the next 72 plus hours, as well. Hopefully for them, this could maybe allow them to extend their seasons. But we've seen 5 inches of new snow over the past 36 hours for Schweitzer. And again, this is the ski report brought to you by Schweitzer Village. The base depth up to 72 inches. Now I'll take you down to Ski Bluewood outside of Dayton. The base depth at 67 inches. According to them, they didn't see any new snow over the past 36 hours. But for White Pass, a different story. Over the past 36 hours, 9 inches of new snow. Now the base depth up to 60 inches, and there's definitely a lot more where that came from, specifically up in the Cascades. Okay, let's go ahead and take you on that zone-by-zone forecast for today. And we're going to start in the Cascades and in Kittitas County, as it will be mostly dry for today. Low-end shower chances, winds gusting out of the southeast, upwards of 30 miles per hour in the Cascades. Then in the Yakima Valley, again, low-end shower chances. These highs near 50 degrees, light winds overall. It's going to be the same thing in the lower Columbia Basin, where these highs going to end up in the low to mid 50s, maybe a little bit more sunshine in the basin as opposed to the rest of the viewing area. In the foothills, these winds also out of the south, but more so out of the south and west, upwards of 25 miles per hour. That would also apply to the Blue Mountains. And these highs going to be in the low 50s for the foothills, 30s and 40s for the higher terrain of the Blues. Lots to track with Futurecast. I'll show you how much snowfall we're anticipating from this storm system and the ensuing storm systems. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. 541. Check this out. The polar plunge right around the corner. That's where people will be jumping into the frigid waters of the mighty Columbia, all to support the Special Olympics Tri-Cities. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen explains how the event helps keep our Special Olympic athletes active.
I am very happy because it gives me an opportunity to keep strong and keep my strength up.
The Special Olympics in Washington is celebrating 50 years of empowering athletes. Kobe Bauer, the Special Olympics coordinator in the Tri-Cities, says that having the community come out and show their support means the world to her, and more importantly, the athletes.
For them, it is their community within a community, so it's everything, where they can be with people the same as them and they can just have fun and relax.
Bauer says she couldn't imagine the community without Special Olympics, and events like the Polar Plunge help keep it going.
The Polar Plunge continues to make waves, especially since this year is the 50th anniversary of Special Olympics Tri-Cities, helping out athletes like Greg Berg.
Powerlifting and bowling.
Berg has been competing in Special Olympics since 1994. He says he started lifting weights back in school, hitting the weight room every day between break time and lunch.
Pump iron and get made me a good feeling as far as, you know, all the strength going in. And
Berg's personal bests include a 235-pound deadlift and 155 pounds on the bench. As a 6-time gold medalist, Berg was happy to share some of his techniques.
And this way and this way, both hands got to be different. And then you pull it up, straight up, and then down, and then you drop it down.
For athletes like Berg, the Polar Plunge provides the support they need to stay active in sports and engaged in their community. Bauer says these athletes are truly inspiring. Reporting in Richland, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Polar Plunge will take place Saturday, March 22nd at Columbia Point Marina in Richland. There is still time to register. You can visit our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com, for all of those details. I encourage you to do it. I've done it a couple times. It's cold, but it's fun. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. It is 5:43, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Dust Devil Stadium camera in Pasco. When we come back, we have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll be back with your full First Alert forecast.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
What's great about basketball? Almost everything.
What's not great about basketball? The term three-pointer.
Boring.
Instead, let's just call them triple plays.
Check it out. Hit it, Steve.
Roberts has it, fires. It's a triple play.
It actually works.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Complete coincidence that that's also the name of where we work.
Not engineered by marketing, no way.
You used to love these shoes, but they aren't you anymore. So why not donate them to your local Goodwill? Proceeds from Goodwill sales fund programs that provide specialized training and support for people with disabilities, helping them develop essential workplace skills, promoting inclusivity and empowerment. Job seekers who will one day walk in someone else's shoes, perhaps yours, and proudly share stories about their awesome Goodwill find. When you donate to Goodwill, you'll know the future's in great hands. And shoes. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, around a pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo, because Mo knows a guy who knows another guy. Together, they are Brumback and Autumn, the injury lawyers. These guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? Brumback and Autumn, bulldog tough.
Stacy Lee, KapKVU First Alert Weather. Watch tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. First Alert radar not showing that much out there right now, but this is certainly going to change over the next 48 hours. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So yeah, not much doing for this morning, but snow shower is going to arrive in the southern blues around midday. And by the mid to late afternoon, the action starts to ramp up in the Cascades again. Maybe dealing with some showers in the foothills or valleys by dinner time and into the late evening, but wet weather becomes a bit more widespread overnight and into the early morning hours of Saturday. However, lower elevations will see a lull in the action starting during the mid-morning, but around lunchtime, the next round starts to impact the Cascades, and dinner time could be a wet one as well, as the action turns much more widespread again. And passes will look pretty lousy as we head into the wee hours of the morning on Sunday. So that's kind of the gist over the next 48 hours. I want to touch on, well, of course, I want to touch on snowfall totals over the next 48 hours. We're expecting more feet of snow for some of our Cascade passes. Decent totals for Oregon 204, but not nearly as much for US 395 or Interstate 84. Maybe even getting trace amounts of snowfall in the Kittitas Valley. Oh, by the way. Okay, now on to wind gusts for tomorrow. These will be very impactful from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. Winds racing out of the south and west. Could see winds upwards of 55 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, 60 miles per hour for Pendleton, 70 miles per hour for Lexington. So it's going to be, the main focus is going to be on the blue foothills, but nothing to scoff at for some of these other microclimates. So that takes us through Saturday. We have another storm system for Sunday and Monday, then another one for Tuesday and Wednesday. Easily the much more impactful storm system going to be Sunday and Monday, but models have been trending overall drier with this one. So that's why we've reeled back in some of these snowfall projections for the Cascades. Looks like it's going to be a little bit more equitable now between the blues and the Cascades. And then into Tuesday and Wednesday, this one even drier. So this one not holding a candle to any of the storm systems that come before it. And high temperatures staying very steady over the next 7 days. They don't even fluctuate outside of a 5-degree window. So very steady, very seasonal. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Mostly dry today, strong winds for tomorrow with rain chances picking up both Saturday and Sunday, then drier by Monday. In Yakima, windier and wetter for Saturday, rain again for Sunday, but drying out into next week. In Ellensburg, decent rain chances this weekend, maybe even picking up trace amounts of snowfall, but much drier next week. In Hermiston, maybe a shower or two for today, very windy tomorrow with rain chances going up, but drier for Monday. Then in Walla Walla, thunderstorms likely tomorrow with stronger winds, more thunderstorms likely Sunday, but a little bit calmer to start next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:49, time for your morning sprint and the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Several local law enforcement leaders have signed a letter calling on Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis to resign. Curtis is accused of using drugs while on the job and making false statements to police, crimes Curtis has pleaded not guilty to. In this letter, officials like the Yakima Sheriff and Police Chief are requesting the immediate resignation of Curtis. They also say that although they are empathetic to his struggles, some behaviors just can't be tolerated.
And the restrooms at the Heights at Red Mountain Park in West Richland are once again closed due to vandalism. And this comes just after reopening on March 3rd after being closed since October 31st, also because of vandalism repairs. Officials say the recent damage was done between 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on March 9th. Anybody with any information on the vandalism is urged to report it to police.
And the next superintendent of the Union Gap School District has been chosen. The board announcing Dr. Tom Brandt has been selected after a nationwide search. He is set to officially be approved during the board's meeting on March 25th. Dr. Brandt will be moving from Dallas, Texas, and is bringing more than 26 years of experience in education.
Yakima County is launching a free 3-part series to help support local businesses, and this is to connect entrepreneurs and to provide resources and help them grow. The first part of the series is being held this upcoming Tuesday, that's March 18th, from noon to 2 p.m. at the Zilla Civic Center. Also, you can register ahead of time to set up a one-on-one session with experts.
The Pasco School District's two-way dual language program is officially open for incoming kindergartners. Any student living in Pasco and who is 5 years old before their first day of school can enroll in the program. PSD says all of its elementary schools offer this program, which is where students can learn Spanish and English, and the deadline to apply is May 30th.
In your national headlines this morning, the federal government may not shut down tonight. Today, the Senate will vote on a GOP funding bill, and Republicans need a handful of Democrats to reach 60 votes. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer now says he will vote to pass it, but it's unclear if the bill will pass. Democrats want leverage to push back on President Trump and also to rein in the efforts on dismantling federal agencies. Dems are also pushing a bill to fund the government for about a month to allow time for negotiations. And the Trump administration is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to allow his executive order that ends birthright citizenship to take effect, this while legal challenges play out. Trump issued the order on his first day in office, but then lower courts imposed nationwide injunctions against it. In a series of emergency appeals yesterday, the Trump administration argued that the lower courts went too far with the injunctions.
In your business headlines this morning at 5:52, the U.S. Postmaster General has signed an agreement with DOJ to help with reforming the USPS so it could be more financially stable. DOJ teams will be addressing the agency's mandates and requirements and also focus on improving management of its retirement assets and workers' comp programs. Over the next 30 days, about 10,000 employees will be trimmed through a voluntary early retirement program. And sales are dropping. That is according to Dollar General's CEO, saying inflation is causing a lot of low and middle income consumers to buy less, saying a lot of these low income households in the U.S. are having a harder time staying afloat, and some are even living without basic necessities. Other companies are also seeing a drop in sales, including Delta Airlines, which cut its profits outlook this week. Kohl's also announced that it expects sales could fall up to 6% in 2025.
In your health news, a major local recall for Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. More than 70,000 of the King Harvest hummus cups are being recalled due to potential contamination with plastic. These were sold at Fred Meyer stores and have an expiration date between February 2nd and March 2nd of 2025. You can throw it away or return it to the store for a full refund. And your favorite acne treatment product may not be on store shelves. A total of 6 products are being voluntarily recalled due to elevated levels of benzene, which is a chemical linked to cancer. This includes products from Proactiv, La Roche-Posay, and Walgreens, and the FDA also stressing that this recall is being conducted at the retail level.
The FDA issues its flu vaccine recommendations for 2025 into 2026 for the upcoming season. It says vaccines should protect against 2 strains of influenza A and 1 of influenza B. The decision comes without input from the group of independent vaccine advisors, whose meeting was canceled without explanation last month. In lieu of that, the FDA brought together some of its experts, along with ones from the CDC and the Department of Defense. 5:54, we're talking sports. Now this morning, Steph Curry set a new NBA record last night, becoming the first player to score 4,000 career three-pointers. It all happened during the third quarter in the Golden State Warriors game against the Sacramento Kings. Curry, already known as the greatest shooter in the league. This all came just hours before Curry's 37th birthday, which is today.
Happy birthday,
Steph.
Chef Curry.
Yeah. Did you put that story in?
I did, yeah.
I thought so.
Why? Why do you say that?
Well, because you're So Go Sports.
I know. I've been doing good.
I know. So when I was going through it earlier, it said,
what did it say?
Well, it had his whole name. No one calls him.
I didn't put that.
Stephen Curry.
No, the slug in the rundown says Steph Curry, so it was just because I had pulled it from somewhere. So you know what?
It made me giggle.
I know it's Steph Curry.
It made me giggle.
And I thought it was really endearing that when you said Steph Curry, off to the side she went.
She was swishing.
See, I know sports.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
You know how to do it. Yeah.
Well, we're still talking about basketball because trending this morning, it's another Cheeto story. So Frito-Lay has to be doing this on purpose.
You would think.
Take a look at this.
Right? Okay, so we previously told you about the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Oh my gosh, that resembles Charizard, the Pokemon thing. That sold for more than $87,000. Okay, this one, same auction house selling it. What do you think it looks like?
I think it looks like the Jumpman logo.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan Jumpman. Well, it's a Flamin' Hot Michael Jordan Cheeto, if you didn't already guess that. Golden Auctions is calling it the Jumpman Cheeto for its resemblance to the famous Jordan image.
I see it. Well, the photo was originally taken in 1985, and its silhouette became the mark of Air Jordan shoes. But so far, bidders don't seem to be convinced of the resemblance, since the current high bid is $336. I mean, for a Cheeto, it's still pretty high.
Well, they're drawing the line in the sand at $336.
Oh my gosh, I think that looks more like what it's supposed to be than
it kind of looks like
Charizard
Sasquatch.
Came. Oh, it could be a little Sasquatchy. Yeah.
Like just, I guess, raising the roof.
It still has 2 more weeks to go, so we'll see if the snack fetches a price in line with Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan or the Birmingham Barons version. I don't know. Do you think it looks like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too.
I mean,
I think it resembles Jumpman more than the other one resembled Charizard.
Really? I thought that one looked like it too, but maybe I don't know.
I guess there's just a
but
lot
then
of
again, like
Pokemon
when
fans.
I'm eating Cheetos, like I don't even look at it. It's just already,
Well, now
I'm done. The bag's gone.
Now
so.
you should start.
I know,
because
right?
you don't know
I can
what
make
could
a
be
lot
in
of
there.
money.
You can make $336.
You know
or
what?
More.
Or more.
If
With
it's
this
more
economy,
convincing.
it's needed.
Right? That could be your new side hustle.
Ooh, Cheetos, looking at Cheetos. And,
Yeah.
Okay, figuring out
Cheeto
what they look
Scout.
like. Yeah.
Okay,
I love
so
it.
much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Big things happening in College Place. The school district getting ready to build a brand new indoor field house.
That's right, and coming up, we have more on the timeline of that facility and how this project will provide more opportunities. It's all coming up in your 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
A lot of snow in the Cascades, a lot of winds across the map, especially for the Blue Foothills. But I'll tell you why first alert weather days are in place. That's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.